Hey, where are you going?
Tucker Carlson just
Holy
did something that no
Toledo.
other West.
That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, my goodness. Yes, hello. Okay, we are live. Say hello to the peoples. Oh, we got audio? All right. Sounds good. Now we can see the chat here. And
It took a year.
after a year of getting things ready, because we usually don't use the big cameras for live streaming, but doing more of the live streams outside, we wanted to have dual microphones, bigger camera. I can do more fine-tuned audio, and you can see the pretty background with the cows and the hills in the back. And if I would have started this when we said we were going to start it, there was like fog rolling over the back hills, and it was sunny, so it was warmer. But yeah, so we're stream unannounced and talk about what we've been up to on the homestead. It's a rare opportunity. What? Oh,
Something on there.
stuff from the barbecue. Made a brine. Must have got some of the brine on there. It's just sugar, molasses, spices, herbs, the good stuff. Oh, I squirreled out big time there. It's rare that we get to have Jess with us on a live stream on a Friday during the work week when she's typically at her normal job. But today she's like, see ya. You just needed a day off?
Yep. Someone cutting their grass.
Yeah, someone is cutting their grass. I don't know if you can hear it on the audio. That'll be an interesting thing to say, but
March 8th.
we can, with the tablet here, watch for comments. So,
but no one knows we're live, so.
No one does know we're live. I didn't announce it because we're still testing out the equipment, but this is all wireless outside of our back of our Barndominium. So this test is a longevity test. So we're going to try to broadcast for an hour. And I did make even a little script on things to talk about.
When you were up at 4 this morning?
Yeah, and 1 o'clock this morning the day before. So we're trying to get our room for link done. And it's been, I guess, hard to stay focused on things when windows leak, which contractor's coming back today, and
We'll see.
probably, hopefully. We did get the gutters. We're having problems with rain coming in through the seals. The J channel's not installed correctly, or wasn't installed at all at first. So somebody had a case of the Mondays, but several times. We've had some issues with the roof leaking and such, so and the transition from the top of the building to the lean-to, that's been an issue. So it's a struggle, you know, trying to do 2 massive additions, one on the kitchen, one on the lean-to, work our normal stuff, you know, production of videos and websites, and she's working a regular job, and, you know, we have our son and going to his stuff, and trying to maintain some kind of balance has been a major challenge. And then the garden behind us, trying to get that ready to go, and it's a lot. I find myself struggling all the time managing all of the irons in the fire. But you take it a day at a time, you ask the Lord for help, and you back away. I think it's probably easier when you have such an awesome supporting partner. But some days are pretty hard.
Was that on your script?
No, I haven't even got to the script yet. Haven't even got there. Dink and Tank says, good morning, Backroads Homestead.
Hey,
good morning.
There's a blue jay
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, there's some pretty neat cardinals here too. Is it Dink or Tank on the chat this morning? If we had moderators on here, we would shout out your names, post your links, but we're running solo right now.
We'll do it after.
Yeah, probably, definitely. The script here that I had thrown together. We wanted to, of course now I can't find it. Leave it to me.
Maddie's in Kathy's yard.
Yeah, way over there too.
Yeah.
She's looking at something. She's interested in something over there. Talk to the peoples. Don't want to leave them hanging.
I'm not sure what you want me to talk about.
I don't know.
She's going to get more ticks on her. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, yesterday I pulled a tick off of her, and fun times. We've had some pretty decent weather here, and we almost need like 4 cameras. I have the multicam software to do live stream with multicam, and that's going to be pretty awesome if we can get that all situated, especially when we have, you know, more people that we're going to be interviewing, you know, doing broadcasts at different homesteads, that kind of stuff. And then once we get it all figured out, we'll do a video on all the equipment we use and how to do it with this kind of stuff. And yeah, my script will not load.
Is that on your phone?
Yeah, I could probably get it on the phone. Good call. It was all pulled up before. Tank. Dink is working, so it's Tank. Tamra. Yeah, you weren't at Pinecone Fest. Are you guys going to Tent Killer? Tamra, are you guys going to Tent Killer? There's a little bit of a delay here, so I got to wait for them to come on. Because we might be able to meet them there, because we're planning on going to that. You can see what people are talking about there. Grab the script.
Yes, we are going.
Oh, okay. So that would work. Let's see. You'll get to meet Jess then. She couldn't make it to the Pinecone Fest. All right.
Well, are we going? Because you technically haven't got a campsite yet either.
Yeah, I didn't. Because we're going to be tent camping away from everybody.
You still probably can't just show up, I'd imagine.
No, we can't.
I don't know what David means.
What's that?
It says David.
Oh, Dink is David. So Dink and Tank. So thank you for watching our videos, and thank you for the compliment on our homestead turning out the way it is. Hopefully one of these times we can,
Long way to go.
you know, we got sort of like primitive camping areas and stuff, so hopefully we can eventually start hosting some of this stuff too. And, you know, have people hang out at our homestead and that kind of thing.
If you have a bathroom, you can come.
Yeah, that is going to be a necessary thing. You can smell that mulch behind us.
I cannot.
No?
No.
Can you hear the birds in the background?
Is that what that was? It sounded like it was dying. So, your script?
Yeah, so the script didn't load on here. It was on the computer, but not here, so I don't know what's happening. So, so I guess, you know, talking about why we moved down here, I guess we can just start from there with like starting the homestead and the challenges of moving away from family. It was becoming more and more obvious that we were having, you know, between the supply chain issues and all the stuff with the bioweapon that was released and unsustainable ideologies that were infiltrating the schools in Wisconsin. And no matter how many freedom fighters we had, it was something that we, you know, it just was like a uphill battle. So we had been watching other YouTubers and wanted to, you know, explore the Ozarks. So we came down, what, maybe like 6 times, looked at a bunch of houses. She applied for some hospital jobs, and when we found this place, it was almost like God was keeping it for us, because it had a Zillow listing, but it wasn't listed anywhere, and it didn't have an agent, and there was no pictures, and you drive by and there was like almost no indication that it was actually for sale. So we wanted at least a 2-bed, 2-bath. Coming from our Wisconsin home, which was bigger than that. And we had previously lived in a smaller home, a very small home, before we got the big home. We basically sold all our toys, got a bigger home, and then decided to move down here. But the market was extremely hard to find anything, and that was, you know, a huge challenge. And Tank said, "Oh wow, that was God send." So yeah,
It was
definitely.
Literally the last house we looked at before leaving the last time.
Yeah, and we had looked at dozens of houses, and we were getting really.
Poor Jared.
Yeah, our realtor was very kind in trying to accommodate us every time we came down, and you know, the expense to look at homes, look at an area, get an idea of what the culture is like, look at the schools. I mean, it's a lot of work when you uproot, and I still don't know that our family understands why we're here, but they have visited, and our friends have visited. So like when other friends moved away, I kind of feel bad, like we didn't visit when Derek moved to Texas.
Derek's never in Texas.
Oh, that's true. Like he's never home. But you know, when friends move away, you know, we always would help them move. We always had the trucks and stuff, so we were obligated, I guess, just because we own the vehicles to help move. But visiting once they moved out of state was always a challenge. But you know, you really start to value the friends you do have, and you know, where you domiciled previously. You know, when they make the trek down here, it's like, what, 12 hours?
10 and a half.
10 and a half if you're booking and you don't have to pee a lot. It depends on how many stops you make.
Yes, it does.
And if you go through the Mark Twain National Forest, then you get sick before you get here. For, you know, us flatlanders,
It's not that
getting
flat
used
in
to
this one.
the hills of the Ozarks. It's not mountains, but the hills are, the roads here, they hug those roads.
And they're fast.
And they're fast roads, yeah. But yeah, the Tim and Roberta were the previous owners here, and
Tim?
wasn't it Tim? Tom?
Tom.
Tom. Sorry. And older couple looking to move closer to their family. And we told them what we wanted to do and try to, you know, maintain the property and do the self-sufficient homestead with the disciplines of growing our own food and having an educational spot to share what we've learned with others and to hopefully help others and encourage others to also become more self-sufficient. And she loved it. They loved the idea. They loved that we were family. They loved that we were faith-focused. And they did have other offers. And we offered them what they were asking, which is always risky because if you don't offer over, when we bought this a year ago, you know, the market was really crazy. Now it's kind of crashing, which is nice for new people trying to get into the market, but interest rates are still through the roof. But
not a year yet.
And it's not a year. I mean, next month will be a year.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. We moved in Memorial Day. So
it's 2.5 months yet.
And yeah, so it's a 1-bed, 1-bath. What is that, like 600 square feet? 700 square feet. Super tiny. You know, our son is living in the living room. But we were going to build a room out in the back. But we instead wanted to... I was very adamant on not just putting a room in the back, because from a guy's perspective, if you buy a barndorium and you don't have much barn space in the barndorium, it's a glorified pole house.
We're talking about 10 feet less.
I know, but when you take that spacious feeling away from a barndorium, barndominium, this would be like a barndominium because it's got a very small living space. I was very concerned that if we did ever move up to a different homestead, this one would be harder to sell if you didn't have the garage space. So I made a big stink about that.
Yes, several times.
So we were gonna...
The only reason you won is because you're the one that's here every day to tell the contractors what to do. Because if I was here, you wouldn't have won.
No? Well, that's scary.
Link would be in his room already.
Oh, that's true. That is true. But the garage space would be smaller and I would be sad.
You'd get over it. You're outside more than you're inside.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's plenty of outside space.
Mm-hmm. So we concreted the pads. We put 2 lean-tos down. The one on the south side wasn't even there. And we put that in. And so the concrete guy was from Wisconsin. He's been living here 35 years. He came out with a crew. We did a commercial kitchen on the north side that we wanted to put in. And I don't think originally, well, I think the kitchen idea was pretty much there from the beginning, right?
The kitchen has been your idea always.
Yeah. Wanted to have a place to process vegetables, and in our last house, we converted our garage, 2.5 car garage, in the front of the house into like where you had the grow rack. Some of our earlier videos, if you go back in our YouTube, you'll see how we had our garage set up with our flood trays and racks for microgreens and that kind of stuff.
And you couldn't even park in there.
You couldn't even park in there.
And we don't even park in this garage.
Yeah, we don't. We got a carport out front that's just more convenient. When there's inclement weather, we'll pull the vehicles in. But then you got to move stuff. But yeah, so we kept most of the gross stuff and we put it out here. But we were originally just going to build like a porch off of the south side. and the contractor got like 3 different plans.
I think the contractor heard what the contractor wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And did what he wanted. He heard what the end plan was, not what the today plan was.
Right.
And he went with end plan and ordered all the stuff. And
Then the plan changed.
then our plan changed.
So he tried to work with what he had. And I'm not as handy as some of the other guys who we are now connected with out here when it comes to building things and being sure about.
We did remodeling in our first house.
We did, but there's a difference between doing it and knowing it.
We
And
just have to keep doing it.
yeah, I kind of Forrest Gump my way through a lot of it, but you know,
No, you don't like to do it.
I'm the marketing, production, business guy, more so than the hands-on
You should be hands-on.
crawling. Well, I mean, I wrench on my own vehicles and stuff like that, but not. I just got to do more of that stuff.
Yeah, girls like that. When you're handy.
Yeah, noted.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we redid our bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen in our 2 houses ago.
And I did the living room first.
Yeah. So I mean, I've done some stuff, but
That was a long time ago.
you get to know people, and you're like, you kind of got an idea, and then they come in and they're like, this is how it should be done. And you're like, oh, I'm glad I didn't do that because I would have done it wrong. And then you learn and help and get hands on, and that's how you just keep going with it. But yeah, it's with this build, that was quite a project that we're still in the middle of. And you know, we wanted to put the big garden out back, get it so that we had a sustainable amount of food, but also, you know, growing food and having resources like the wood burning stove and, you know, off-grid water and that kind of stuff. We're pretty much on grid, and you know, we have our own septic and well and stuff, but we're still on the electrical grid. And we had campers and stuff. We kept a lot of our camping gear, so we have our own outdoor showers and tents and water and all that kind of stuff that we, in the event we lost power for extended periods, we could make do for a little while. But the lean-tos, it's 60 feet long on this building, and we put, you know, 12-foot pads on each side. There was already kind of a lean-to on the north side. We extended it all the way out. The roof, it was just a roof, and it was kind of built with scrap materials from leftover from when this was built. I think this was built like in what?
2008.
2008. So we just added on to that and poured the concrete, put the drains in the floor, knowing that there's probably going to be a kitchen in one of them, and the other side was going to be storage. But the more we got thinking about it, the more I got thinking about it. You know, talking about agritourism and bringing friends and family down and not wanting to have them get a hotel room every time they come down here, or let's say, you know, one of our parents wants to stay for an extended period, like a couple weeks or a month or something. To have them have their own space was really important. So we turned the south side lean-to into a 2-bed, 2-bath, and that's what's being built right now. And hopefully we'll have that done within a year or two. Link's room is important. Well, and that's, you know, trying to build the business. You know, I got the Backroad review stuff. I got a lot of the affiliate stuff, and building a network of clients down here, getting the freeze-dried food back up and getting the garden built. And, you know, we got to put in the irrigation system yet. And my mind is constantly taken away from the things I don't want to do, which is Link's room, and the things I want to do, which is grow food, put the water system in, you know, get the businesses built and you know, get the income streams up. So
13
Tank
year
says,
old.
Dink and I moved back to this area in 2007. We moved back here from Wichita to be closer to his parents. So, yeah, Kansas is a nice place.
Nice flat place.
Yeah. My dad's side of the family's from just south of Dodge City, Kansas, in little town of Wichita. So I use that as a premise of like Southern hospitality.
He's from Dodge.
Mineola, I'm sorry.
I was like,
Mineola.
That's not right.
Sorry, I got what she said and what I said mixed up. Mineola, Kansas, which is like 30 minutes south of Dodge City. And so like as a kid, I always was coming down south, and people are just different here. They're genuine. Their friendliness is mostly truly real. In the north, it's pretty real too, but there's quite a few more people that are like nice to your face, but they're not, you know, there's a lot more bickering and back talk up north in Wisconsin, in my opinion.
There's a lot of ma'ams and sirs down here.
Yeah, and honey.
I couldn't tell you how many times I got called ma'am yesterday. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh. I'm like, I know you're being polite, but please stop calling me ma'am.
And Maddie's like, I'm just going to chew on your fingers. Pay attention to me. You're kind of in the frame. Ow, ow. What the crap, dog? Go find some more ticks.
Don't say that.
Kidding.
Anyways.
So we're hoping to have Livestream done here tomorrow after the Homestead meeting, right? So we're all going to this Homestead meeting south of Mountain Home in Arcana tomorrow for the network of people around here. And I think everybody's within 45 minutes of here. And then Jason and Tara from White Rock Homestead are helping us out. Jason helped hook up and bridge 2 sub panels together as we got the electric in, but we had to bridge power because the power company's not here yet to run the second line to up our service from 200 amp to 400 amp. So I got to trench a new line in, and then they're going to upgrade the service. So the new boxes are in, it's just not switched over yet. So we needed temporary power so that we had lights so we could work on stuff. And you know, I really love the energy that Tara has and that Jason has. They're go-getters. They help people. And, you know, their drive is like laser focused on a lot of stuff. And that's really great to have friends like that help you get more focused. Because I'm like all over the place. And that's a very big detriment to, you know, the success of this homestead.
Well, like you said, I want to work on the stuff on the weekend and when I have off, and you want to work on outside stuff.
Yeah.
That you didn't get to during the week.
Right. I try to work on stuff that's going to have the potential to make money, like all the product reviews and videos and stuff, and website work and sales stuff that we have online. I have to focus on that during work hours. But this is going to be, I don't know, that stuff's starting to get set up. And I think that we can probably, it's it's nicer now and I want to be outside more. I don't.
It's going to get to be too hot in there.
Yeah. Well, we got the air conditioner and the mini split.
That we have to hook up.
But yeah, we're to the point now where the walls are almost done, to the point where we put some supports in last week or week before, and just got to like line up the head unit and figure out where the backside's going to, where the, you know, the outside condenser is going to be or whatever. But 12,000 BTU unit, that'll do one room. And we did the spray foam and the radiant barrier and all the stuff, because that's on the south side, so it gets a lot of sun. And it's a noticeable difference, like from where, when you hung up the radiant barrier, it was like night and day difference. You go further into the lean-to and you can feel that heat coming through the steel. And then in Link's room, it's like way, way better, way less. So once it's all sealed up and buttoned up, that room should be pretty easy to have heat and air with. We were trying to have it done for his birthday, which is coming up, but
it's a month, so
yeah,
it
I
better
know.
be done by then. It's a month and a half away. I just worry there's not going to be enough to work on because the mudding takes the longest
Yeah.
to dry.
Tamara says, we traveled every other weekend to look at properties before the move. Finally found an old church that was converted to a home prior to purchase. It was a godsend as well. 2011, our lives were rearranged after the EF5. They're leasing right now, but we're looking for land in 2025. They said Jason and Tara are awesome. That will be a great birthday gift. She says, yeah, for sure. It'd be cool if you could move closer to here, where between where Jason and Tara and I, we're only like 20 minutes apart. And there's like 3 or 4 other YouTube channels in this area. We've kind of talked, but I haven't like gone to their homestead yet, or we haven't really connected.
Jason and Tara, we did.
Well, we did, yeah. I mean, we went there, but there's 2 other predominant ones, even just right off of our road that we're on. You would think I would have reached up more, but you get really distracted. I do. Like, there's a lot to do, but the community part is super important. So, and that's why, like, the homestead meeting next week or tomorrow, we're doing, I think there's 10 to 20 homestead families. Most of them are pretty self-sufficient. They've been doing it very, very long. And like last month's meeting, there was a like master gardener talking about what plants grow best here. They coordinate like incubating chickens for people and like, doing stuff for trades, and it's really cool. There's, people who are really good at composting and that kind of stuff in the area. So every meeting, and this group doesn't even have a name. It's only met like 2 or 3 times before, but it's very well organized, and there's meeting notes and that kind of stuff, and itineraries for tomorrow's meeting were sent out and everything. So it's a neat group to be part of. I'll be doing a presentation tomorrow on gold backs, on the gold currency. People have kind of been talking about it now, so it's time to do a presentation. So yeah, building that community part is super essential, and having, whatever happens in the economy, I don't know. Will the system crash? Probably. Do we know when? No. You can't really like dwell on it, but creating a microeconomy within the community, boosting the farmers markets, doing the gold money, helping each other with processing animals and taking care of stuff and sharing crops and figuring out like, okay, everybody can't grow everything, but if we all kind of take 1 or 2 crops to go deep on that we're going to more than likely share at the end of the season.
Tara's got tomatoes.
Yeah, Tara's got tomatoes covered.
300.
300 tomatoes for 2 people or 3 people or 4 people is
a lot.
That's a lot. So, and we gave her some trays for our freeze dryer. They're doing some eggs right now and some stuff. So our goal was to have like 5 freeze dryers eventually. Cool. My goal would be to have, because like freeze drying takes forever. And if you have a line of them, you can do a whole bunch of different things. You can't put all the like sweet stuff with savory stuff. Like you'll start to taste flavors of different things. So like there's things you can't put together. There's things you can put together in those freeze dryers. And so, and our neighbor just got some freeze dryers, and
He did?
Yeah, he bought the XL Harvest Right through our affiliate link. So we'll have, a little bit of money there to buy the next one, or if there's like another homestead who wants to buy one, we'll share it or whatever. So he'll have 2 freeze dryers over there, I think. But if he brings his other one down.
I didn't know he had one.
Yes, like they bought one and they never even hooked it up. So I showed them how to use it and stuff with ours. But like just in our little community here, that's 3 freeze dryers, and one's an XL, which is like 3 times the capacity of the one we have. So that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. So Tamara says, gold backs, invest in gold, not on paper. Invest in gold, not on paper. Silver as well. Yeah. Junk silver, silver coin. The gold backs are actually gold. So like it's gold in the, it's gold encased between 2 pieces of polymer. And so like you can melt it down and you have a little bullion of gold, depending on which denominator, how big of a sheet you have. So nothing with paper, no IOUs, no cryptocurrencies. We tried all that stuff and it doesn't work. So
Too dark with the sunglasses on and too bright
I know.
with the
It's like you put it on, it's like, but take it off and it's like headache.
squinting.
Yeah.
It's gonna rain.
It is probably going to rain again, yeah. Which is unfortunate. So we've been getting a lot of wood chips here from the local, some of the crews around here. The co-op has contracted multiple crews from around the country to come in and clean up all the electric lines. And so all of these contractors have to find places to put all this wood chip. And our neighbor down the street flagged one down. He got chips and he's like, hey, you want some chips? I'm like, yeah. And then when I'm done and we have our chips, then our neighbor's going to take some. So the crew we're working with is from Virginia, and it's like 25-year-olds, maybe 20-year-olds. I don't know. They're young. Compared to us elder millennials.
I'm
but
sure your age.
they're making like buco bucks doing this. And they're like, yeah, we're contracted for the year. It's a crew of like, I counted like maybe 10 guys between 3 trucks or 4 trucks. And they're just rolling in it. I mean, it's a lot of work, but we're getting a lot of good wood chips. We're getting a lot of different varieties of wood, which is kind of neat. Hardwoods. So we'll have some chips we can smoke with our smoker, but I'm not good enough to know like, oh, that's cherry. Oh, that's oak. That's maple. I don't have a nose for it yet. I got to get like the chips and then acclimate and then separate. But Maddie, come here. Where are you
Stay
going?
out of the tall grass.
Yeah, sit down. Stay here. Don't wander. Yeah.
How long have you been talking?
I don't know. How long have we been talking? We're trying to make this an hour.
It's getting colder. Yeah,
10:30. We started at
Stay here.
9:50. So
20 more minutes.
all right. So
You're gonna spill my coffee.
Tamara says we have a small
Ow!
garden. Got started now. Waiting to
Be
put broccoli in
nice.
the ground. They are ready. Waiting for cool temps at night to stay above 40s. Yeah, that's this spring has been a very weird false spring. I planted some of our sunflowers, and then it went to like 28 degrees, killed them all. But I grew way too many sunflowers. So I was going to do them as microgreens, and then I'm like, I want to plant these. And there was like, I got a lot of black oils. We have some mammoth. But, and then you said, we are on TS. Is that TeamSpeak? We follow it closely. I don't know what TS is. Gold investment, that is. Oh.
I'm cold.
We'll
now.
have an amazing day weekend. Yes, sunflowers. We love them.
Sure.
Yeah, it's The grow racks are really full right now with a bunch of different things. We're going to go heavy on cucumbers. We got lots of watermelon, lots of summer squash,
Stay
some
here.
zucchini, beans, peas.
Stay here.
Got a bunch of grapevines we started. 4 or 5 different types of peppers. We got the walking onions. We got 5 different types of potatoes, white onions, red onions. We do a lot of onions because they freeze dry well and we use them every day.
Why are you biting?
And then we got cabbages going. We got marigolds. We're going to interplant with those. We have a bunch of herbs we got to do. I got to find some of those herb seeds yet. But we got like calendula flower and comfrey's growing. So I mean, there's a lot of different things, and trying to keep it all straight. You know, I got like a little notepad of where I'm going to put stuff in the garden, and it's like, where do our...
Stay here.
We try to put in the like no-till practices once the beds are made, and market practices of like, what's your high turnover crops? You want those closer to the house, and your low turnover crops, you know, put those in the backfield. Trying to figure out how big to make the rows. You know, 4-foot bed, 3-foot bed. She doesn't listen. She has no incentive to stay here. And she sticks around pretty good, but yep, we so True Social is what you meant with TS. Okay, yeah, we're on True Social. I'm on there. I'm part of the Homestead groups. I think we started the Backroads group. I'm not sure on True Social. Yeah, we do have the grapevines, berry bushes. We have blueberry. We're going to have more blueberry coming in. We got strawberries ordered. Whether they come or not this year, I'm not sure. We were going to try some nut trees and fruit trees. Maddie, see, when we yell, the microphone won't adjust. So like we just blow our audience out of the way when we yell at the dogs. So probably shouldn't do that. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's some serious gardens behind here for sure. And we have the wood. We're going to keep making some stuff. We might give some of these raised bed blocks to other homesteaders so I can just make rows, because it's a lot to fill those beds. And we got our soil test back, and the soil here is good enough to just make raised rows and then just amend on the top or mix in a little bit. But I was really worried about animals, so we got to put up the electric fence. We got the fence posts up. I got some of the line I got to start running with the solar energizer, and then I have 2 beacon lights for each corner, so you can just look out the window and make sure that the fence is live. I don't know how big I don't know how like bright the strobes are though, so I don't want to like make the neighbors mad with like constant blinking light. But it's a no-touch light.
Not worried about the dog and the electric fence.
Well, she'll touch it once and she'll figure it out. We're going to run a high line first probably to get the deer, and then we'll run the lower lines. I want to have at least 7 lines, you know, 4 hot and then 3 grounds, and then a high line, because the fence posts are only 4 feet tall. Eventually I want to get, I want to weld on like some rebar onto the fence line so it's, you know, 6, 7, 8 feet tall, and then put a line at the top so because the deer can jump 12 feet verticals. Here, the deer are super agile and fast. They're not as fat as Wisconsin deer, and man, can they run. They are fast, but that also means they can jump fences. We'll be following your journey. You have a great day. So long. Thanks for watching. Our latency isn't too bad. We're only like about 2 seconds behind. So the software that we have, the OSX, OSB, OSX, whatever, the free software you can get for live streaming, has the latency thing. And that's my problem with a lot of like the StreamYards and that kind of stuff is by the end of our live stream, you're like 5 minutes ahead of where the chat is. And that is just unacceptable to me. That's too much lag. Too much lag. Because like you type something and then you have to, like 5 minutes later, they might see it. So this multi-camera stuff is good, and I'll share this stuff with people, but I don't know that it can, I think it can stream to multiple platforms at a time, but I don't know. Okay, so let's go to pest control. So we've seen some spiders this year already, and the stuff we use around the house, the ortho spray or whatever, the stuff that we seep into the wood is more so to prevent termites. We do have the termite foundations down underneath each of the cement pads, and that's like I don't even know if you can get homeowners insurance around here if you don't have termite protection. That's how much they fear it. We've had the treated boards in the ground for a year. I haven't seen any termites out here.
Her house, I thought.
Yeah, our neighbor had some termite issues. She got those resolved. But, you know, we keep our grass pretty low. I would like to cut the grass less this year and have some chicken tractors or something and animals to graze. Once the fence is in, like we can use our neighbor's goats and have them over here for a while, let them chew it all down or whatever. I want to try to not cut the grass with the lawnmower as much as possible, just like the front area or whatever and near the driveway. But we have a lot of wild onions and chives in the fields.
And the ones you thought were onions?
Yeah, those are tulips or
No,
lilies.
those are poisonous.
Yeah, they're like surprise lilies or something.
I didn't think that's what you said.
It looked like an onion bulb. You cut it up, it's like, that doesn't smell like onion. What is that?
Brian told you what it was, and he said it was poisonous.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Which is, you wanted me to put it in your meal.
Well, the onions here are like really small bulbs, and you cut them open, and they are definitely onions. Mike's been eating them. Our neighbor's been eating them. He's like, well, he's not dead, so it's probably right. The other ones did not smell like onions. These smell like onions.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just use the onions that you know are onions.
Well, those are onions. You got to like...
guessing that they're onions.
I will take more pictures and send them to master gardeners and be like, and take the app and do the thing. And
yeah, whatever.
I think we probably have 50 to 100 pounds of onions if I just picked up all the bulbs that are in the yard. And it's a crazy amount of onions that we have here. And they smell so good in the morning time when they release their scent, and it's like, onions.
Weird.
It's weird.
You're
I'm weird. I know. And you're cold.
Yep. And not being productive.
Yeah, well, we got to try and get this channel monetized, and, you know, doing some of these kind of channel, we do some of the live streams. We do, we have the shorts. We have quite a bit of content we're creating now. We advertise some of this stuff on YouTube, so you'll see some videos that have more traction than others. Our other monetized channels have about the same subscription base, but their user content is, more engaging. So we just don't have enough topics here yet. The algorithm hasn't really picked this up. So, plus I talked about a bunch of stuff on this channel that it would appear that this channel is being suppressed, but I did take off those videos, and we're trying to, keep this as clean as possible on the YouTubes. We talk a little bit more about edgy stuff on Rumble and Twitter, so on X. We'll do live streams there as well. But on the YouTube, we have to remember our audience and who controls this platform. All right. So for like pest control, what else are we going to do? The birds will take care of a lot of it. And today we're going to go get some permethrin and treat underneath the beds, underneath the couches. So we have like our living couches right behind the studio here. That's outside.
It's in the garage.
It's in the garage. So like we have a garage living area with the
Stay
big
away
screen
from the
TV. And,
screaming child.
yeah. So when the kid's playing his video games and screaming his head off, we can get away from that. And that's like when we built his room, we put a lot of soundproofing in his room to, you know.
Probably not enough.
Yep. Yeah, maybe it's not enough, but we're attempting. And he's getting a little better, but man, those teenage years. Eesh.
That's also why he needs his own space.
Yeah, he's getting into the age where space is really important. And he's been a trooper. He understands what we're trying to do. He understands the constraint between time and money, and, you know, so he's been very patient. So that's been, he's been very kind in waiting for us to get this done.
Until he's mad.
Yeah. Pest control, so permethrin, we got the ortho stuff, we got natural pest protection, the animals. The dog's going to find all the ticks. She's great at that. She loves playing around the tall grasses. So the ticks are typically in the tall grass on the south side of the fields. And then we also have an issue with the Asian beetles. This year I've seen quite a few beetles already, and it's just after frost. So that's concerning that we're going to have a lot of that. This is supposed to be a big cicada year.
Double.
So the double cicada trifecta of awesomeness on the eclipse time frame.
You know what I saw on Facebook?
What?
Copperheads like cicadas.
Oh, copperheads like cicadas? Great.
Mm-hmm. They will sit at the bottom of trees to get them.
Oh, I guess that's good.
Mm. Well,
for that part.
Good until you're not paying attention.
Yeah. So far out here, we haven't seen any. We had one king snake in our, when we first got here, and it was like, I don't know, that big.
It was
big
very
black
large.
snake. We got it out of here. And now we have like the snake handler pinchers and stuff. Maddie. She's wandering off into the fields again.
She's bored. She
She
needs
is
to
bored.
run.
We're almost done here.
Yeah.
Don't step on there. Don't step on that.
Look how dirty you are. Oh, you stinky. Why are you all wet?
What did she get into?
No. Hey. Gross. She was behind the trees where you couldn't see her, so.
Oh. Maybe she was under the trees and the trees are still wet.
Anyways. Was that it? Was that all the pest control?
Yeah, I mean, between the birds and
the holes in the yard.
Yeah, we have some moles we have to still address. We got rid of a lot of them, but I got to do some reviews on some other things to get rid of moles. And we do have the traps. So there's been one skunk yet that we haven't been able to shoot. So got to get rid of that. And there's like a few squirrels left, but some of this stuff you can control, some of it you can't. And when we start planting ridiculous amounts of food, all the animals are going to love it. So we're just going to have losses. That's just the way it is. For livestock, I really wanted to have some sheep and such too, but I think just for right now we're going to stick with chickens and see who else gets what. and just take it a step at a time. I do want to get the apiary set up. I got one beehive that I got to set up, and I would like to have, 2 hives this year and just see how it goes. But if we're doing the fruit trees, and we need a decent amount of pollinators with the orchard and the some of the stuff we're putting in the garden. Plus, if we can get honey next year, we can start making some mead, which is the whole reason I took the apiary class, was to make honey wine.
You don't need another thing to do.
That'll be about the time the grapes might start coming out. So
Goodness.
yeah, I'm kind of mental.
You're ridiculous.
I want to learn all the things.
Yeah, there's a difference between learning it and having time to do it.
That's why you start small. Pick the things you really like.
No, because you buy all the things to do it, and then you're like, nope, I don't have time for that. And then you have all the stuff, and it just sits there. And then you're like, ooh, this. I gotta get this and this and this. No, you don't.
True story. This is how this works every week.
Look in the Amazon cart. No. Yep.
Yep.
And on that note,
Moving along. Okay, livestock, just chickens. Check. Okay. Homestead kitchen recipes. So we brined our first hams, and I recorded that. The recipe section. So I was trying to think on the website how to, like, we got our blog and stuff, but we're gonna have a lot of content over like the reviews and all the products and the Homestead channel stuff, and we do other stuff. So I was trying to like organize it in a way where it was like in one spot, with like a directory type layout. So backroads.info, I started that, and that has like a community platform on it, and like all the recipes, then I'm going to make it so that you can just download them or give them a rating or modify our recipe for your own recipe and like post your review on it and that kind of stuff. So it's a way to keep information together on a mass scale, talking
so
about
put our laundry soap recipe there. So
yeah, so you
don't
don't lose it every time. It's like every time we make the laundry soap, you make so much of it that we don't use, like you only use a cup or 2 a week, 2 tablespoons, and you make like a whole huge tote of it, and then by the time you need to make another one, you forget how to make what the recipe is.
So then you go on YouTube and you find random ones,
Yeah.
and you're not sure if it's the same as what you were using.
Yeah. So backroads.info is going to be where a lot of that will go. And once it's done, we'll talk about it more. And then it'll link up through the Backroads company site, the Homestead site, the review site, the studio, 4x4, medieval stuff. All of that will be all connected very nicely. So the kitchen recipes is, like I said, I recorded 2 ham brines. We're doing a hot and a mild. And then, yeah, I did.
Hot?
I did put I made one of them hot.
Why?
It's not real hot. It's not real hot. I just needed a little bit of different recipe.
You don't even like ham.
Hey, I'll like it a lot more because we're making it. You can't make this up. This is live, folks.
Why are you so dirty? Ugh.
So the chicken coop, we're going to make that chicken coop in the back a tractor. So we'll have an egg chicken coop tractor. We want to be able to move all of our coops around and have to be able to graze between, the different properties. Our neighbors letting us use her back 3 acres. So we have to maintain that, and we want to reduce insects and let them forage and that kind of stuff. So we could raise quite a bit of birds here. talking about homestead finances. We will be putting up different videos talking about different income revenue streams that we've tried and ones that work and ones that don't. Again, when we're talking about getting people off into a more sustainable environment, how do we help people build an income stream that supports their lifestyle? Yeah, there is a slug over there. So we'll be talking about that in future videos, ways to save money by doing your own things, you know, creating a network within the community here. So we're going to talk about that. Seasonal activities. So we're about to start mushroom hunting around this area. So Brian and I are going to go out and look for different types of mushrooms. He's going to show me.
Don't just put them in your mouth.
Don't just put them in your mouth. Roger that. Hey, this looks good. Oh, you're dead. Pick it up.
No, gross. It's gross. Ugh. It's gross looking.
Yeah, well, it's a slug. Seasonal activities. Jason and Tara were talking about doing like homestead roundups or something where we're going to each other's homesteads more often. We'd like to be part of that. Motorcycling, we do a lot of that. Hiking, biking. We got some e-bike stuff, so we bring those to events. 4x4 stuff, so crawling around on the trails. We got those around here. Bringing in homesteaders and doing the agritourism stuff and educational stuff for the kids. We really want to have that. So there's always going to be something happening on the homestead. We have our boat, you know, taking people out fishing on the great crystal clear lakes and rivers here is going to be something we would enjoy doing with other people. So, but again, get the lead-tos done, get the garden up, get the chickens going, you know, income streams up. It just a little at a time.
We lose an hour this weekend.
We do lose an hour. Spring forward. That's the real time. We go back to real time, not pretend time. All right. So community networking, we beat that one already. And then like questions and answers. Q&A would be at the end of most of the live streams.
But you did that already. There's only one person.
Yeah, there's actually, that's me on the other screen here, so there's nobody watching right now.
There was
There was a few watching, which is great for an unplanned. But you know, we could definitely host more of a round table too, if we had like 3 or 4 participants here, or 5 or 6.
Stop.
It'd be a fun live stream at that point.
It would be a lot of.
We could have like 5 or 6
delays,
different
I
cameras.
imagine.
Yeah, I don't know if the Wi-Fi could handle all of those streams to multiple channels at the same time.
You can actually pick that up.
Huh? Yeah, you can.
Ugh. Your fingers are dirty.
Well, I got like purple on my fingers because we put in the berry mixes into the freeze dryer this morning, and so yeah, there's that. $9.50 is when we started, so we've been going for about an hour. High five. The live stream made it an hour. The test is complete.
So we can stop?
Yeah, we're going to run a few extra minutes just to make sure. One of the plants I didn't talk about was I bought a few goji berries, wolfberry plants. She saw them in the Amazon order list because I had already ordered them. One of our friends sent us.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Well, yeah, it was like $7. So one of our friends sent us this drink mix for helping with
Lots of things.
It's basically wolfberry juice mixed with some other herbs and stuff, and cherry and
Blueberry, pomegranate.
and then like orange citrus peel or something. There was some kind of
A lot of stuff.
yeah. It tastes very good, and it helped her like cure her inflammation in her joints where she was having leg troubles, and she can bend down again, and help the cognitive function and stress levels and mood. So it's like a Asian mix, an ancient traditional drink. And so I wanted to reverse engineer it and obviously make it myself, because the drink is kind of pricey. And the main ingredient is goji berries. So like, oh, how do we grow goji berries? And I looked at Epic Gardening, and oh, look, Chris from Epic Gardening shows you how to make goji berries. So yeah, so we got some goji berries, and we're going to try those. I mean, it takes 3 years. We're going to grow them from seed. And I have never even seen goji berries around here, so I'm not sure if it'll work. But we're in the right zone, in the temperate zone, and I'll set up some soil for it and see where it goes.
It's going to rain.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain again. The clouds are getting dark again.
And it's cold.
It's cold. Just one more minute. One more minute. I just want to make sure we have overlap.
Slug is getting closer to me.
Are you getting concerned?
So
Is it going to slug you?
gross.
Is it going to slime you?
It's gonna,
It's all part of nature, honey.
gross.
Use it for bait.
It doesn't go quickly, but it's getting quickly too close to me.
Well, the concrete's drying out. If it doesn't get off the concrete soon, it's going to dry up and not make it.
Well, that's a long way to go.
Yeah, I know. Got to get some stick and...
Should I kick it?
I don't want it in the garden. I'll have to put it in the backfield.
At the bottom of your sandal?
Ugh. I don't really want to do it that way, but I will if I have to. Oh, good to know. Now everybody knows, because your mic is hot. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. These live chats will be way more full of content without all the bugs. But I think we finally got it figured out. Thanks to Jason for helping us out, Bill from My Alaska, Jason from White Rock Homestead, Tamara from Dink and Tank's Homestead, and the few people that helped us adjust the audio and picture quality and that kind of stuff. So I think we got it dialed in now, and we can do live streams fairly efficiently. So
Bye.
okay, bye. We're gonna all right. Have a great day. Turn the computer off. Stop stream.